Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to be talking about some workout ideas and tips for heading into fall. So a change of seasons always means a change of pace, change of lifestyle, whether you like it or not. I definitely am I'd rather not change, I guess is a good way to put it. So this is always something that I struggled with in the past, is like coming to grips with the fact that the weather is changing and it's going to get cold, whether I like it or not, which means I'm going to want to sleep in more and cuddle up more and just not be as active. I'm just not really good with change. So we must adjust, or this change it'll hit you hard and you will fail at your fitness journey. So just like everything else that changes with the seasons, your fitness journey must change as well. And this is something that most people don't account for in their fitness journey. It has to fit into your life all the time. Your fitness, this lifestyle, this nutrition, counting the macros, like all of this has to fit into your lifestyle. It has to be something that eventually just is part of your life all of the time. And since just like the seasons change, our life changes, that means our fitness routine has to change. And this took me a long time I guess no one ever really told me that, to be honest. And so it took me a long time to figure out like everything would change in my life, right? Like summer to fall is a huge transition. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today. Even when I had like little toddlers, they still played like soccer and, we had things going on, dance classes and gymnastics and things. And then as they got older, of course, the sports like continue, and then school gets busier and life is always crazy. And so eventually I think I just realized that like I have to change with it. Like I can't just expect everything that I've been doing, all spring and all summer with my fitness journey and the foods that I'm eating and the workouts that I'm doing. I can't expect that to just like roll over into this new life that's going on for me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So even like throughout the years, as your life drastically changes, it's kind of crazy to think that we would just expect our workouts and our nutrition and our goals and our body to like stay the same. Like, why would that stay the same when everything else is changing? That's kind of a big picture. Today, we're mostly, I'm going to reel it back in and just talk about going from summer to fall. And because that's a minuscule change in the big scheme of life, but it's all very, very important. And these little changes, these little tweaks that you make, they keep you from getting stuck in the cycle of dieting and overeating and being on track and off track. And it will really set you up for success. And so speaking of that cycle, let's talk about that for a minute. The cycle that I used to get stuck in, the cycle that most of my ladies before they come to me, that they are stuck, or when they come to me, they're stuck in this cycle of dieting and then overeating. And so they're either on track or they're off track. And what it comes down to is it's all about that consumption or what they're doing. And so when you're in the dieting phase, you think you need to eat less and maybe work out more. And then that's not sustainable. And so then you go into overeating. So eating more and like moving less, because you're basically going from all or nothing. Like there's no moderation in between. So it's the cycle of I'm dieting and then that's not sustainable. So I'm not dieting, I'm doing nothing. And that's frustrating. Or, I'm dieting, so I'm not eating much right now. I'm cutting back on everything and I'm restricting all these foods. And then that's not sustainable. So now on the other side, I'm overeating and really, really going all in. And that happens as a cycle, just like the seasons happen as a cycle. And so that has to stop. And I think fall is such an imperative time. Like for me and for my clients, fall is a huge opportunity to get rid of this dieting mentality, because if you think about it, the cycle is going to start up now. This is a very important transition. The holidays are coming. Well, let's start back. The weather has already changed. I live in Michigan, and I swear on the first day of fall, Mother Nature was like, okay, it's fall. And all of a sudden it was windy and it was cold and it like spits rain every day. And so it was like instantly my brain and my body were like, okay, here we go. And so it's like, here we get started in the cycle shift, right? And so my brain instantly goes to now it's fall. And so we have Halloween coming up, and then we have Thanksgiving coming up, and then we have Christmas coming up. And so my brain, of course, goes to, and then we have New Year's resolutions in January. So here goes this cycle. And this is either a time for a woman where you look at the holidays and you think, okay, I need to start dieting right now, today, because the holidays are coming. So if I start dieting now, I'll lose a couple pounds, hopefully. And then when the holidays come, I can just it'll be a free for all, because let's be honest, we don't know how to get through the holidays nutritionally anyway. So it's a free for all. Or you will think, well, the holidays are coming, so I might as well just forget it. I don't know what I'm doing anyway. It's too late now. It's a couple weeks away in reality. And so fuck it. Here we go. I'll just let it go till the end of the year. I'll start over New Year's resolution in January and we'll get it going then. So that's the mentality that we can really easily get stuck in. That's the nothing mentality of just kind of winging it, right? But if you think about it, this is such a good time to figure out your macros and figure out what workouts you should be doing and really easing your way into a plan and a lifestyle and some consistency to get you through the holidays so that you don't have to get stuck in that cycle of suck in the holidays and then completely start over and restrict everything in January. And so what I do for myself, and before we get into the tips that I actually have for you for fall, I just really want to set the groundwork for this, because I think this is such an important time of year and it's a really good opportunity to stop this cycle. And I'm really working hard with my ladies right now. I have a couple programs. One is actually, well, by the time this episode comes out, it will have just started the day before, but I'm really going to be pushing my clients into this season of consistency instead of lack and instead of unpreparedness. And so what I do for myself and for my one-on-one clients is to set them up in basically a seasonal routine that actually works. And this is why I'm able to, like I said, kind of live in a way that my fitness and my health journey coexists with my life. So there are basically 3 phases that you can use to go throughout the year. The first phase is a calorie deficit, which means you are eating less calories than you burn. There's calorie maintenance, eating at maintenance, which means you're eating the same amount of calories that your body burns. And then there's a calorie surplus, which means you are eating more calories than your body burns. So depending on the seasons, and along with those, the calorie wise, along with that, your workouts will change too, based on your goals and based on your lifestyle and, what activities you have going on for that season during the year and the time that you have allowed. And so these things work together to seamlessly help you create the body that you want, maintain the body that you want, build the body that you want, whatever kind of phase you're in. And it really works well with the seasons. So particularly going into fall and winter, I personally, and I have most of my one-on-one clients going into a calorie, at least maintenance. So usually in the spring, we're in a calorie deficit through the early summer. The end of summer into fall, we're into calorie maintenance. Winter and early spring would be you're in a calorie surplus. And then we go back to being at a calorie deficit again to get ready for summer. And that cycle just seamlessly goes on. So right now is a good time for you to start to understand, if you don't already, for you to start to understand macros and calories and how they work for your body and what workouts you should be doing. And so I'll go into that in a little bit, but basically right now for myself, for example, I am in calorie maintenance right now, which means I'm tracking my calories, making sure that my weight had been staying the same for about a month, and I'm transitioning into calorie surplus. So I've been eating more. My protein stays the same, but I've been eating more carbs than I did over the summer. I gained 2 pounds approximately like in the last 4 weeks, which is perfect. I put on a little bit of muscle, which is actually mind blowing because I have not been very consistent with my workouts. Well, I shouldn't say that. My goal for a week is 5 workouts per week, and I've been getting in like 3 or 4. But that's enough. When I'm eating more food and I'm doing certain workouts, that's enough to still hit the goals that I want. I'm able to tweak that for myself and my clients. So what's really nice about this is it goes with the seasons, right? So I will be, and my clients will be, and you should be in a calorie surplus or at least maintenance to where you're able to eat more during October, November, December, probably January as well. So you can eat more. You're lifting heavier weights, not doing as much cardio because it's cold outside and I just don't want to. And it's just not necessary to do that, to have the body that you want. Naturally, you're able to give yourself more freedom and flexibility with the holidays coming up and the colder weather. And we have the cider and the donuts and the soups and all of the savory foods that you want to eat. And so you're allowed to have those things, and allowing yourself to have those things makes this become more of a lifestyle. It helps with not being so restrictive. And so it's the best of both worlds in terms of building your body and having the mentality that you need to go into the holidays, go into this, falls and winter season and enjoy and not have to stress so much about what you're eating and are you dieting and this cycle that you're going to fall back into if you don't have a plan. So what this comes down to is you have to be a little bit looser with your approach to be able to make this work. If you're in a cycle of dieting and then not dieting, so being on track, people always say like, I'm on track right now because they're in a diet, or like I fell off track because they went a little over their calories. I don't know. That term is whatever, kind of bothers me, obviously, but you have to be a little bit looser. So in order to not be on or off track, just to basically, like live and just be okay and just maintain and gradually lose weight or gradually build muscle instead of having to do it all at once and then giving up and then losing all that you gained or lost. You have to be a little bit looser with your approach, or this is never going to work. Trust me, I know that that's hard, but it is what it is. And if you think about the seasons that are coming up here in fall or the holidays that are coming up, this is a perfect time to loosen up your approach. And you have to plan. So this is all about planning. This is all about loosening up your approach. This is all about working with the seasons, working with your body instead of fighting it. And that way you won't come into every season thinking, well, I'll start again on Monday, or, well, I didn't have the body that I wanted. Like you wanted to start in the spring to have the body that you wanted for summer, to be strutting around in your shorts and tank tops. And that didn't happen again, right? For the 5th or 10th year in a row. And so now it's baggy sweater season and you're so happy. So like, let's not fall into this cycle of falling into that cycle of the seasons. I guess we want to fall into a different cycle of the calorie deficit, maintenance, surplus, tweaking up your workouts a little bit and having a new appreciation for the seasons and how they can all work for you. Also, before I talk about the workout tips, going into a year, let's say like a full year of the seasons, that is how you want to create the body that you want anyway. And so if you're kind of doubting what I said about like the calorie surplus maintenance, that's exactly how you want to build the body. If you think about someone who's maybe overweight and all they do is lose all the weight, they lose all their muscle, they lose all their fat. Now they're a stick figure, skinny version of themselves. Well, now they decided, well, that's not really what I wanted. I guess I'm skinny now and I lost 50 pounds, but like I still don't look the way that I wanted to. Now they want to gain some muscle. And so now they have to start eating more. They have to start lifting super heavy to put on that weight, put on that muscle, put on a little bit of fat. And then after they do that, they go back into a calorie deficit, lose some fat to be able to display that muscle. That's fine. That's a good way to do it. But if you have some weight to lose, it's best to do it gradually and gain some muscle while you're losing that fat. So when you get to your end goal, your end result, you will have the body that you want and you just have to maintain it. So you don't have to lose the weight and then gain the muscle and then lose some fat again and then gain some more muscle and then lose more fat again. It's a little bit easier, honestly, if you have 50 pounds to lose. Celebrate that right now and just really work on building some muscle over these next 2 seasons, and then losing some fat in the spring to display for summer, and you'll have the body that you want. And then if you do this on repeat, this is how you continue to build muscle. You continue to sculpt your shape and really work on your body composition. So that is another reason why I personally live that way with my nutrition and my workouts. And that's how I have my clients change their bodies, because it's just so freaking simple. And that's what we're all about here. So some workout tips coming off of summer and going into fall. First, I want you to take inventory of how this season change will affect your workouts. Not just the season change, of course, literally, but how are the activities coming up in your life in this next season? How are they going to affect your workouts? Some examples are you getting in less movement now because maybe you're someone who took a walk every single day in the summer, and now maybe you have a lot of sports activities now, like we do, and a lot of my clients do. And so it's darker out earlier too. So you don't have, until like 9:30 at night anymore to get your walk in. You have until like 7:30 if we're lucky here. And so it's darker out earlier. So that takes some time off of your day. Plus, if you're out at sporting events later in the evening, you have less time to get movement in during the day. And so take note of that. Park further out in the parking lot so you have more steps, so you can get more steps in. Don't take the elevator or the escalator. Take the stairs, move around when you're on the phone at work, get up during the day and walk around, do some stretching. Just be aware of the fact that you're getting in less movement now. And so you need to make that movement up. Also, think about, are your physique goals changing? Like I mentioned, mine are. In the summer, I like to be a little bit smaller, a little bit leaner. Now I want to bulk up. I want to put on some muscle, which means I'm going to have to put on some weight, put on some fat. I'm going to have to bulk up a little bit. I'm going to be bigger. And so I need to take inventory of how this season is going to affect that. And then number 2 would be just adjust accordingly. And I have a lot of tips under this little section to help you to adjust accordingly and some ideas. So adjusting accordingly means obviously go from your summer schedule and your goals, like I mentioned, and the time frame that you have. Now we're adjusting into this fall schedule. And so take inventory of what that looks like and then adjust, but give yourself some time. It has taken the entire month of September for me to adjust to this new workout. I'm trying to adjust to getting up super freaking early in the morning, and I haven't quite adjusted to that yet, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. In other words, you can't just go from taking walks every day and working out at 5 p.m. to not taking walks at all, getting in no extra movement, and then waking up at 5:30 in the morning and, crushing everything. That's not how it works for me anyway. I have to ease myself into it. So give yourself some time, give yourself some grace to kind of make this plan come into effect, write down things that are working, take notes of, what you're doing good at, what you need some work on, and go from there. It's going to take some time. So this can look like adding in more cardio if walks are going to be less often. And this doesn't have to be walks. If you were someone who went for bike rides, or maybe you did go for walks every day by yourself or with your dog or with friends, maybe you were a runner and so you would go for a run. Maybe you just literally got in more movement because you were, just running around with your kids in the yard all summer and now they're in school and so you're not doing that. So whatever reason is that you're moving less often now, you need to add more cardio in. I personally sneak more movement into my workouts and into my workout programs for my clients. So I will add more reps. I will add more moves in between my big lifts. So right now I'm just doing basically compound movements and I'm trying to lift. I'm having a deload week at the beginning of the month, and then I'm gradually increasing my weight through the month and then doing that cycle on repeat. I'm doing basically the same exact workouts week after week to work on progressive overload and build my muscles. But I do need a little bit more movement. And so I will be adding in like skaters at the end of my workout, or squat jumps, not in between my sets or my reps or anything, but at the end of my workout, I'll be adding in a cardio movement, and I'll be doing that for my clients too. So if you're not getting as much movement in during the day and you find yourself kind of cuddling up on the couch more often when normally you'd be up and around, get more movement into your day, whether that means like literally you're going to a gym and you're walking on the treadmill, running, whatever, just for steps and for that cardio benefit, not because cardio burns more calories or more fat or anything like that, just for the steps. and the overall calorie burn, or sneak it into your workouts. That's what I personally prefer, but you do you. This can also look like changing the time of day that you work out. So like I was saying, if you were someone who in the summer would work out in the evening super late, now things are changing. And so if you need to change the time of day you work out, working on getting up earlier or going on your lunch hour or whatever the case may be, take note of that. That can be really important, and this can affect your mood. This can affect, the efficiency of your day. So if you are someone who suffers from like seasonal depression, for me, I do. And so getting up earlier is imperative for me as well, in that I already have it done. So during the day, if I'm feeling kind of blah, I don't have to also add the stress of, and I also haven't worked out today. And now I feel like shit and I'm sad and frustrated and cold. But I can say like, at least my workout's done. I got that done. I did the hardest thing on my list today and it's done. Like that can be a really big sense of accomplishment, and that can play really well into getting things done for the rest of your day. This can also look like changing the duration of your workouts. So if timing is an issue for you, maybe you can only fit in 3 workouts a week right now. So add on 15 minutes or so to each one of those days. And so longer workouts for less days a week, or maybe you don't have a lot of time each day. So maybe you can only work out for like 20 to 30 minutes, but you're going to work out 6 days a week. So you can change up the duration, the length of your workouts as well. Also take into account that you're going to be changing up your meals. Account for like fall soups that I mentioned, all the snacks, things like that. Like also the fact that your garden is over with. So there's less access for some of us, some of you, whichever, to fruits and vegetables, and they get more pricey this time of year. So you might need to look into a reds supplement or a greens supplement to be able to get all of your antioxidants in. This is just a dietary change that will affect your digestion. It will affect your mood. It will affect your energy. It will affect your macros. So take into account that you will be changing up your meals, and maybe you really, really like casseroles and different things. So take that into account. Just kind of track those in MyFitnessPal, see what you're working with, and note the changes and make sure you have those foods on hand and that you're ready for them. Maybe stock up on some protein powder. Definitely, if you are, kind of struggling with the change in season as far as nutritionally, I personally do struggle with that. I am currently consuming like 2 protein shakes a day because I'm struggling with the transition of foods and what sounds good and things like that. So I struggle with that too. If that's you, you're not alone. And then lastly, get some accountability. This time of year can be really hard if you do suffer from seasonal depression, or if you're just freaking busy and your schedule is out of control. That's how I felt going from summer, where we're kind of just like chilling and we're here or there and everybody's kind of scattered, but things are cool. Then we go into fall where both of my kids are in sports all the freaking time. There's practice, there's games an hour away. There's games on both nights. Whatever the case may be, like if you are just completely sporadic and you haven't gotten a grip on your schedule yet, yes, I am raising my hand for that. Get some accountability so that you have that added pressure in a good way to get your workout in. Tell somebody your goals. Tell somebody why you want to do this. Ask if they want to go to the gym with you or do the workout program that you're doing with you. Or can I just text you every evening and tell you what I ate for the day and how much water I drank and if I got my workout in, or can you text me every day at 8 p.m., set a reminder. Best friends will do that, right? And make sure that I got my workout in. It's really important that you get some accountability and that you have a plan in place to be able to execute on this. So I hope that was helpful. This is a huge time of year that it's a good opportunity for you to be able to take advantage of. And this can really set the tone for how you go into fall and how you go into winter and how this continues on next year even. It's really important to just have a plan in place. And I can't stress enough the simplicity and the ease of the way that I work on my own fitness routine, how much it's just such a part of my life. I hardly even think about it daily, and how I do this for my ladies too. So I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for accountability on a higher level than just best friends are great, but I am always here for you. I have one-on-one coaching programs. I do have some spots open for that right now, and I have other programs available. So I am always here to answer questions for you. I would love it if you reached out to me personally, if you could give me a follow at Instagram. I am at Christy Castillo Fit. If you would reach out to me there or shoot me an email at info@christycastillo.com and ask me which program is right for you. I want to make sure that you succeed. I don't want to just sell you a program and send you on your way. So if you reach out to me, tell me your goals. We'll chat back and forth a little bit. We can see if I'm even the right fit for you, if my programs will work for you, and if they will, which one is best so that you will actually see results, because that is my ultimate goal, is to get your results and also make it sustainable so that fitness for you can become as seamless as it is in my own life. So again, I hope this was helpful. Please screenshot this and share it to your stories and social media and tag me, or copy and paste this link to a friend that needs to hear this. I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate you sharing, and I appreciate your support more than you know, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review, and of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.